At the end of a school day, you may think about going home. Perhaps it's because you want to feel more comfortable, you want to do something fun, or you want to be surrounded by people you love. Since I've started my journey here at Asper, the feeling of home hasn't gone away. But one thing has changed. Asper has begun to feel like another home. Every day I'm here, I'm involved in an exciting event. I'm surrounded by my friends, and I'm striving to make a difference. And I would love to help every student at Asper feel the same way, so I've decided to run to be your Vice President of Operations. Next year will be my 3rd year here at Asper, but if you asked me a few short years ago if I would be standing here today asking you to be your next VPO, I'd say that you were crazy. But on my first day of my Asper journey, CSA President Noah Yagi made a speech where he said, "Don't go home after class." And maybe it was his perfectly sculpted hair, but I took those words to heart. I became a volunteer for Shinerama. I helped out with 5 Days for the Homeless, and I even modeled for the Asper fashion show. One of my favorite parts of my first year, though, was being part of Asper's first year council, where I planned a social that doubled the profits of prior years. Those experiences had me hooked, and I fell in love with Commerce Students Association. The next year, my event planning continued when I applied to be the Commerce Students Association social programmer. This past year, I have poured my heart into Commerce Socials, selling out 3 socials, and smashing records by selling out Commerce Carol in 8 school days. Next year, as your VPO, I'd love to ensure that your journey here at Asper inspires you each and every day. I'd like to help you find success in your current academic pursuits and build your foundation for your future endeavors. Under the VPO portfolio is special events, which includes the Howard Morey Leadership Conference and the first year case competition. I'd like to introduce more workshops to help you build your skills and more competitions to let you practice them. When you're done studying and you need to take a break, I'll make sure that fun events like Commerce Coffee House are there to help you unwind. I'd like to continue promoting these ideas as something that everyone can go to, no matter who they know, to have a great time and to meet other people in our faculty. Finally, as your VPO, I'll work to make CSA a strong and cohesive team. A team that brings you the best business banquet. One with the top employers and the top recruiters to get you not only a cool summer job, but the career of your dreams. I'd also emphasize the importance of STAGs. I work very closely to recruiting in my current job, so I know how important it is to have experience and knowledge in your major. When making a central online calendar for CSA members, I'll make sure to include STAG presidents and vice presidents so that you won't have to choose between a wine and cheese or a speaker session. You'll have more opportunities to network and make meaningful connections. Overall, I want to enhance your university experience by supporting you in getting your degree and supporting you in getting your career afterwards. The VPO position requires a lot of event planning experience that I have. I also have an extensive network from my time as the CSA social programmer, a network that I will use to make next year's events the best they have ever been. We can make all of this happen. It just requires your voice. Tomorrow and Wednesday, I strongly encourage all of you to go out and vote. Vote for a more fulfilling university experience. Vote for a better Asper. My name is Celyna Yu, and I would be honored to be your next VPO. Thank you.
Thank you, Celyna. So we'll have a 5-minute question period for Celyna specifically. Does anyone have any questions to start it off? I should check to make sure no one submitted any online. Yeah, we have one.
Nobody's going to go. Thank you.
No problem. Since you are running unopposed, we'll ask a little bit about you. Can you tell us about a time when you struggled, as well as the times when you succeeded in your past event planning experiences?
A time that I struggled and succeeded in event planning. That would come down to one event, which was Commerce Carol. It was really hard, and we were so lucky to have such a great team behind us, but there were stumbling blocks along the way. And I think our success would just have to be because of our constant communication and the support we've gotten from George and Eric throughout the year. And I would call it a success because we budgeted to make $39,000. I don't know if I can actually say this, but Matt's here, so we'll just go ahead. And then we only have rough numbers right now, but we made $66,000 on Commerce Carol, and that's thanks to all of you for coming out and enjoying that event. So thank you.
Thank you. Does anyone else have any questions? Yep.
Since you are running unopposed, if elected, what are some things that you could do, that you're going to do next year to promote a race for VPO that isn't a one-man race?
I think it just comes down to marketing that these positions are open more. I knew that it was coming because I was on CSA, but for a lot of people who aren't on CSA, it would be hard for them to run for these positions. So next year around this time, and it was due to the strike too, and winter break starting so late, but I would market that these positions are open earlier and try to go around and say the VPO position is really great and this is why all of you should apply to.
Does anyone else have any questions? While you're thinking of questions, I'll mention a few things. A few people have mentioned this the unopposed deal here. We have 2 candidates for Senate who are unopposed and 1 candidate for Vice President. Just reminding everyone watching at home and in the audience here today that these candidates still, it is a yes or no ballot and they still rely on your votes. So don't just think that they're running unopposed, so why ask them questions? Because they could still be your VPO and senators next year. Does anyone have any questions for Celyna? Okay, oh, yep, Devin. Devin has a question.
Celyna, what I'm wondering is, should you get elected, what do you look for in creating a team, and how would you build the CSA Executive Council? Would it be through hard work ethic? Is it through friendships, merit, diversity?
Let me assure you now that it would absolutely not be because of friendships. When looking for people for exec, I would look for 2 things, and that's attitude and effort. I've always believed that you can be in your 4th or 5th year, have a long resume, but if you don't want to be there at the end of the day, I don't want you to be there either. I want you to have the right attitude and have that effort to make next year amazing.
Thank you. Hoping someone thought of a question during that question. Okay, seeing none, I just want to thank the 4 presidential candidates and the Vice President of Operations candidates. We can all give them a round of applause. I'm sure everyone at home is also giving them a round of applause. To remind everyone, voting days are tomorrow and Wednesday. All you'll need is a student card or something with your picture on it, any kind of identification. That is all for me today. Thank you guys for coming and have a good one.